So, hello. We think we are live in YouTube since 4 minutes ago. And let's start today's Liquid Galaxy streaming. Um, Today we have with us Mentor Yash. Hello, Yash.
Hello everyone, this is Yash. I am the UX lead developer at CybTekk and also the senior mentor at Liquid Galaxy community. And I'll be talking about the training session for today, that is the art of making good proposals and work logs.
Perfect. Keep in mind your own introduction. So, the only thing I have to say is that thank you very much for staying with us today. And I'm gonna prepare your stage only for you and your slides, and you can start now.
Yeah, okay. Thank you so much, Andrew sir. So I'll just be talking about how important it is to make such good proposals and how important it is to ascertain your place in the Google Summer of Code 2024. So it must be very good that everything you know and whatever you wanna show up to the community, you have it very well written up in your proposals, because that is the only way that we are going to get to know how much do you know about this and how much it is clear in your mind, the idea that we have shown up to you. Or say like there is a repository and there is a project, and how much the proposal or how much the representation of that idea is clear in your mind. The only way to get to know is if you are writing a very strong proposal. So with this, I would be just tackling on some, I would say, intrinsic knowledge about writing good proposals and also about how to make good work logs. So the first thing that I want to show is some general ideas on proposal writing. So firstly, you need to be very creative in your content and presentation. What do I mean by that? Have some sort of graphical representations as well. Have some sort of use case representations and some other sort of graphics that make it very clear to us that you are not only writing this on behalf of, say, the general textual content or the idea, but also you are creative and you will make something new out of it. Or let's say you have a good graphical interface that you're going to provide, and whatever you're going to go, if it is for an application, if it is some other sort of software, it is just that the presentation, I would say, generally matters a lot. Next thing is that you can showcase your LG rig that you have completed setting up your Liquid Galaxy rig, and you can show that your proof of concept is ready in the proposal docs. This is also very important. If you can show that you have made a proof of concept, like you know what is the idea doing, and you can just make a solution out of it in that very much time that is given in the GSoC timeline. And if we are very much certain that you are the guy we need to proceed with, you will be getting that. I would say you will be certain of your chance in the Google Summer of Code 2024. And next upon, always mention the GSoC timeline in your proposal. Also, I will just, in the next slide, I will just show you the doc or the template of the proposal that you're gonna be given with, which is also available on the Liquid Galaxy's official community website, which is liquidgalaxy.eu. And what is more important to know here is the Google Summer of Code always has a timeline, and you need to follow it. You need to tell in the proposal that what you're going to do in this sort of period, how much work you might have done in this first coding period, in the second coding period, and how much testing or debugging sort of things you'll be doing in the third coding period or in the finalization and conclusion steps. Now, also always showcase all the plannings and demonstrations that you have. Never be out of demonstrations. Showcase that how some part of the idea is working. I'll be giving you a very good example, and we will be walking through all of these steps. So don't worry if you do not get to understand a single step, and also there will be room for questions at the end. So I would always say attach some screenshot, showcase that your repository or the idea that you have presented has a working sort of demonstration if you have any, and some sort of planning that you may have done to be represented in your proposal. Also, take a look at the projects that we already have on the GitHub page. There are many projects that are, and also Vedant has done a wonderful job in, I would say, forking all of the projects that were, I would say, earlier passed upon, and now we have all of them under the Liquid Galaxy project organization. And I would want you to take a look at it. Look at all the previous year's project and familiarize yourself with how the code base is working, how you can set up a connection with the Liquid Galaxy rig and stuff like that. And lastly, this is the most important, stay in touch with your mentors and admins for guidance. So stay in touch with us. You can ping us on Discord. You can ask in the question and answer channel. These things will help you in the end to understand how to write a very strong proposal. And always, when you're writing your proposal, make sure to have the comment access for us. So we will be tackling, and that would be, I would say, along the go. Next, I would talk about specifically the Google Summer of Code timeline, because that is a very important thing. And as you can see, as the image I have provided on the left side, we have that contribution application period, which is beginning on March 18, 2024. Now you will be thinking that there is a lot of time, but it is not true. Time generally runs so fast, and you may also have to give a head start. You may also have to set up algeric. You may also have to tackle the idea if you understand it well. So these small things makes us, I would say, think that the time is too much, but indeed it is not. It runs so fast. So I would say if March 18 embarks the start where you can just start submitting, just start with the proposal, I would say, as soon as you can. And also make a few acquaintances with Figma. That is a very good design software. You can make your UI sample screens there. So you can just have an imagination of how your application will look like, and just be active in the community to ask for some sort of, I would say, whatever is going in the community. There might be some tasks. We have some of the very good tasks that are going on right now, which are also available on the official Liquid Galaxy website. And also any sort of suggestions that you might need in the proposal, and always strictly follow the GSoC timeline, because that is something that I would say at each and every step you'll be reminded of to follow. So it should be clearly mentioned in your proposal that how you're going to follow it. Next upon, I would talk about what is the art of fabricating a good proposal. So I would say it is a piece of art, whatever your proposal is. It is just not your natural, I would say, something you have written. It is the key for you to get selected in the Google Summer of Code. It is the key or the picture that tells how much you know about the project. So whatever you know in sort of technology in terms of what you code that you will write, you should also be able to present it very well. So we can get to know that you know the idea. So you can get a certainty of your selection. And this is the master proposal document. On the right side image, we have a master proposal already on our Liquid Galaxy main website that you can copy it in your drive, and later on you can just uh, try to answer these things like the name of the project, the project description according to you, whatever is your clear picture, some use cases of it, some link technologies or the tech stack, whatever technologies you'll be using, and the timeline. So the sort of thing is, you can also describe, other than these, your background and your interest. It will give us the knowledge that you have a, I would say, you are very vast in technologies maybe, and you have a background which sort of makes us understand that you have a very good history with some sort of technical field that you would be needing here. And also give a project description, which is the roadmap according to you. How do you think you will take time and get to manage everything in the GSoC timeline? How much time do you think one task should be given in the project idea? And always create good mockups. So you will always get a chance when we have the ideas on our main website. You will have a chance to take a look at those projects, those GSoC, future GSoC ideas, and you will also get to know that you have to create good mockups for it. And it's very good indeed to start on Figma right now. And also you will have to add some use cases. So it should be that the application should have some sort of significant real life use cases. It should not be just a gimmick, you know. You need to have something crafted that is a sort of idea that can help the real people. And UML diagrams are very welcome. I will talk about UML in the upcoming slide. It is very good to know what is the unified modeling language, or a language which has been a standard point for amongst all the developers and designers. And you should also be talking about the tech stack in your proposal, all the link technologies you might be using. I will give you an example of this as well. And most importantly, the timeline, the one that we have already talked about. So, what is unified modeling language? What is a UML? So, I would say a UML can be described as a general purpose language or a modeling visual language that has a interesting way to visualize how the design of a system will work. There are various kinds of UML. The one you can see on the left is telling you that how your Flutter app, let's say you have a Flutter app, and how the user, which is on the stick man on the image, is able to send a connection to the Liquid Galaxy, is able to connect to the Liquid Galaxy and display some sort of thing on the Liquid Galaxy rig by making some sort of commands from the app. And this is much better than any sort of visualization that you might provide. You may provide very good, stunning graphics to show the use cases, but this is very, I would say, easy to design sort of a thing. You do not need to be a master of designs to make this sort of craft, and it will be a thing which will moreover require your intention of how the system will work than how the design will look. So there is a set of rules for regarding UML, and there are very good videos. There are many crash course sort of videos that you can just watch upon, and I would really encourage you to look into these UML diagrams, and you will have to make some of these in your proposal as well, which could include a use case diagram to tell that what is the real life use case, how some person will use your technology or the project that you are building, and a sequence flow to tell upon that how the sequence of things will happen when you are running your application and simultaneously connected to the Liquid Galaxy rig, some sort of command that you might be, I would say, sending upon, and the things that you'll be getting back. And these things are, I would say, really important to be showcased in your proposal. But first of all, you will have to understand it, and you will have to go through the code base. So time is running really fast, I would say. Next is to add screenshot and sources. It is generally very good to add some sort of screenshots. This is an example from the La Palma volcano tracker, a previous project that I had to make. I'll be talking about this as well as a particular example. This was a very stunning application which was built in Flutter, which was talking about the volcanic eruption that happened in La Palma, which is the Canary Islands in Spain. And it is the sort of thing that the lava flowed over 10,000 hectares of land and destroyed, I would say, a lot of land, and it had released 300,000 tons of sulfur dioxide, and the shock waves traveled Earth like 3 times. The impact and the intensity of this huge disaster that we could never forget. And for that very reason, this was a project, and I had the opportunity, I got the opportunity to develop it as an app, which was really remarkable for me. I would say the not so beautiful incident that happened had such beautiful way to represent it on the Liquid Galaxy rig to get all sort of data of that tragic incident that happened. And for that, I also added some sort of screenshot and sources in my proposal as well. And this is just a glimpse of that. You should be adding the necessary information, the data that you might be fetching from various sources. So first you have to do a background research. First you have to collect some necessary information, and you have to talk it in verbal terms. You have to actually show that you have a depiction of the actual work that you are gonna make, and the depiction of the tech stack that you are gonna really use. And you have to craft your proposal to show that you have the intent, you have that planning that is very well required to ascertain your position. And the information that you write will help us thoroughly understand that you understand that GSoC project that you have applied for. If it is not clear to us that you are not thoroughly understanding the GSoC project, you might not get selected. So it is very important to have a recognition of these steps and how you're going to show that intent to us. Next upon, I will be talking about work logs. Now, this is a separate thing. This is something that you do after you have been allotted the work, after you have been selected, and after you have really started doing the actual application. But you can always start it early just to understand that how this sort of thing works. Where in a Google Sheet, which is something that we use here, and we write the work we have done per day basis, and also the weekly basis overview of the work we have done. And this thing, after getting selected, is monitored by our mentor. So in my case, it was monitored by my mentor, and in your case, it might be monitored by any of the mentors. And also you have to write the possible bugs and the blockers that you might have been facing, and the possible solution, and the upcoming work plan of the next week. So these sort of things help us, as like say I am a mentor and I am just visually seeing the blockers and bugs that you have faced on your work log. I might be able to comment on it and give you a tactical solution that might work in code as well. So these sort of things are really important. As much as your code is important, it is very important that you are making a work log. It is also very important, like say you have got a sickness and you are just off work for 2 to 3 days, then you can just view your work log and understand where you have left it. So it is not just helpful for us, it is helpful for you as well. And I would say with this, I hope you have brought some questions for us. That was more or less everything. And also, I would want you to take a look at the La Palma volcano eruption tracking tool, that very project that I built. And maybe you can give it a star as well, that sort of project, if you liked it. And if it would be more important if you understand its technology or so. So we are welcome for questions. Andrew, sir, do you have anything to say?
Okay, thank you, Yash, for your presentation. Let's see if we have questions on the right Slack.
Yeah.
Questions and answers. Good question, but it's not for now. Abhishek was asking where can I access the stream. So, but I understand it's a little bit, I would say, complicated, but it's the way it has to be. So let me remember how it works. You have to have a control who's going, you have to reserve your seat on the Google Events platform. I have sent to you all on the liquidgalaxy.eu website. There are the websites where you have to go to reserve your, just to say, I'm going. And then minutes before the event starts, the platform sends to you the link to see the event. So Abhishek, I think you have not been, you was not on the platform, so you didn't follow instructions. So again, always read the instructions. We give you many instructions, but we will give you instructions to follow, not to just it's like the presentation our dear colleague Yash has made today. If you don't follow his rules, his ideas for the work log and for the proposal, you're not going to be selected. So I mean, we send you plenty of information to follow. Let's see, Prithvi says, besides screenshots, what are other data sources that I could use? Screenshots as data source? This is not right. Explain, Yash.
Yeah, so I would be saying that you have to firstly understand the project, and next, the data source, I would say you have to craft it well. You have to understand the technical tech stacks, and then you have to, I would say, do some sort of research. Maybe there could be some technical thing, some technology that is available for you to show, and you can just showcase your own demonstration. That would be very well. I would say that would be very effective to show the proof of concept. I would say that would be the first hand, I would say, source that is coming from you only.
So Jaivahan says, if I can create the prototype of the project I am proposing in Flutter and attach its screenshots rather than doing Figma mockups. What do you think, Yash?
I would say it is okay, but then also do not miss out the UML things, the sort of very basic designs that you can also make. I hope, Jayavardhan, my answer is very clear to you. You can sort of show your proof of concept. That is a different thing. A screenshot attachment is a different thing, which is showing that some sort of website where you are taking the data from some sort of source that you have to build upon your project, which is an idea to boost your, I would say, whatever you have written, some sort of things that you can just show should reflect, firstly, the technologies you are using, the idea that you represent, and thirdly, the use cases, the UML diagrams, and last upon, you can just show your proof of concept where you have your Flutter screens and everything shown. That you can as well do. I hope it is clear, Jayavardhan.
I will add one thing, maybe, if you do agree, we are not obligating anyone to use Figma. So you can use Figma or not.
Yeah.
So it's up to you. It's not a must. But we believe, as most of the world community, that, the technology community, not us, that Figma is a very great tool, and as Yash says, has another improvements that will help a lot on your development and planification of the project. So, but you are not. It's not a must to use Figma. You can do screenshots. You can do other techniques, but it is nice that you learn Figma and you use Figma. It is good.
Yeah, definitely. It will also help you in making better graphical interfaces if you want. I see a next question. I see it by Souvik Mukherjee. So he's asking, so first step towards GSoC would be set up a Liquid Galaxy rig. I would say that is a very important step. So firstly, set up your LG rig so you can and secondly, test the applications that are already given by us, that are published on the Play Store. This will help you know to understand how the LG rig is working, how you can set up the SSH connection, and how the connection is going through. So these very small things can help you, I would say, firstly, to understand the community and help you in the project.
I will add another thing to this. So in our agenda, we are now starting the path to the not only to GSoC, because GSoC is one thing we do on the year. We do many other questions, many other activities, and plenty of you, around 10 possible contributors, are working on different projects, laser slides, the wiki, and many other questions. The GitHub organization with the help of Mentor Vedan and Mentor Victor, and we are doing those trainings. This is the fourth, I think, training, but we have plenty of more trainings coming. So the idea is that at some point in January, we will start to make some harder pre-selection tasks, ordering to use some harder pre-selection. And one of the tasks, the very first one, always is to build your own Liquid Galaxy. Explain this like it happens last year, just because it's going to happen the same, because we do always explain what we did.
Yeah, so I would say that firstly, what happens is you have to set up your LG rig, and secondly, the applications you have to test it. And thirdly, the application that you make, it may happen that you may face a blunder. You have to again install the LG rig. It may happen several times. And the Liquid Galaxy, the app that you have been working with, will be published by us, where you need to very well know that it is working on the LG rig. I would say it is working flawlessly. And then we will be able to pass it, and then we will be able to publish it to our Play Store, which will be handled by us. So the LG rig installation is a very critical step in all along.
And a must. This is a must.
Yeah.
Not now, because for this reason we are not saying you have to do this. But logically, if you want to start to do things with our technology, you need to test our technology. It's not only a matter of Flutter. Remember, guys, this is not a Flutter project. We work with many different technologies. Flutter is, I have a dash here. It's one of the technologies we use, but it's not the only one. Instead, we work with Google Earth. Our main target is Google Earth and the Liquid Galaxy technology we use. So it's not a must now, but it will be a must on January. I don't know exactly the date, when we start to make the pre-selection for the interns of the summer, that you all will be obligated to build your own Liquid Galaxy, record a video with it running, and send that to you. Last year, do you know how many rigs people installed last year?
I think people installed multiple rings, but I do not know the exact number.
54.
54, okay.
That's a lot, man. That's a lot of virtual rigs. So those were built with, because let's explain for a bit, as we have a question, explain for a bit how we build these virtual Liquid Galaxies.
So I would say that there are many steps to installing an LG rig, physical and virtual one. Many of us do not have multiple, I would say, physical setups. So we go for a virtual setup, where we have to firstly understand all of the various command line steps that are gonna be used, and how we can just first install the LG rig, first install the Google Earth software on the master computer, and then on the slaves, and then just set up that the connection or the SSH is going through. and then finally debug any sort of, say, an auto rotate is happening, then how do we, and all of this is very well explained and given in the docs. And some of us also do a very good thing, they record the whole session and then make it into a YouTube video so they can help others as well, which is a very good thing, so it should be that we are making a community where everyone is helpful to each other and you earn brownie points as well.
And again, there. So this step will be published around January. I'm just I talk to you, Josh. I'm just touching my streaming setup just for people to see what's going on, and I'm not having the questions of the Discord on screen. So Bumik is questioning us, when we'll be able to know the projects we will be proposed to Google? Will the already existing apps be proposed to? So first question is when? Usually it's January, at the beginning of January. So all the senior mentors, remember that we are a very large team, something like 60 or 70 mentors in many different countries of the world. And we are now starting to create those projects. I think we have something like a dozen ready to be published, but we will not do this till also starting of January. And the other question is, will the already existing apps be proposed to? The answer is no. We develop a project, usually this project is finished. In a few times we did a second or even third version for different reasons, but I will say 90% of the projects are new ones every year. I don't know, Bhumik, if this answers your question. And Subix are also only Flutter related projects in Liquid Galaxy, or are there more tech stack? Yash, explain.
I would say Flutter is just one of the technologies that we are using. We have been working on Google Earth. We do a work on Linux. We also work on Python applications, and we have also fragmented work on Node.js, as well as some sort of machine learning work can happen in TensorFlow. We have applications that are built in maybe Android, which is either Java or Kotlin. And alongside we have Flutter, which is, I would say, it is very remarkable. That's why you see a lot of things like Flutter going on everywhere. But I would say it is not the only tech stack that we're using. We have multiple of them, and it is also mentioned on our main Liquid Galaxy community website.
And also, I will say that people do not read, because I'm going to show on a screen on the streaming the liquidgalaxy.eu website, and on the website you can see clearly that we have many different. Let me change. I have to change something here. Okay, so we have a place where we talk about technologies, and it says Linux, Python, Node.js. Scroll this way with the nice user interface that Josh did for us. Android, TensorFlow, Flutter. So I will say we work with many different kinds of technologies, but this year we are pushing a lot for using the Flutter thing for the applications, because you guys like Flutter. It's not only us, and also you can see that in our transmission today we have a brand new logo. It's starting to appear in all the places. That we have a new local group, but it will be worldwide, because from Jada we do many things for the world, and it's going to be called Flutter Jada. It's going to be an official Flutter group from Google, and we will be doing plenty of activities, training, and so on around this Flutter thing. So the answer was that, of course, we can use many technologies, but again, read the website and stay tuned to read the project that will be published in a few weeks. Which will be all. Thank you. Tal to be done. And that the Liquid Galaxy is hoping to introduce a few AI/ML projects. Can you give some highlights on that? Okay. So again, read the different projects we have already developed You can do this on our website, or you can go to the GitHub and you can find the projects that we have developed with ML and I. What projects are going to be this year, I can discuss because we are still working on preparing the projects. And again, it will be around starting January that we will have the list, and you will be able to see what projects we are focusing on AI and ML. And of course, it's going to be plenty of, but not only, because not everything is AI ML. This is a hype that we have now, but this is not the only thing we have a technology. Does the proposal reviewer review the whole proposal doc, or there are some key areas that she focuses more on? If yes, that way too. I think Abhishek that the streaming, today's Yash presentation has been focused on that. So please see again the presentation from Yash, and the key areas has been very well explained by Yash. So please see again the streaming. Is that right, Yash?
Yeah, I would say that the whole point of this streaming was to make you understand that what are the main areas you should focus on. So I would definitely want you to just watch it again if you just want to, I would say, just recapitulate whatever has been told.
And Prithvi, that it's also new here, I imagine, could you please explain what a Liquid Galaxy rig is? Okay, that's a very first lesson class. Go ahead, yes.
Definitely. So I would say a Liquid Galaxy rig or a Liquid Galaxy cluster is your master computer of your Liquid Galaxy rig, working in coordinates with all of these slave computers which are set up to demonstrate or to display the Google Earth visualization. So the Google Earth has been working in, I would say, you sort of just run the software and see it, but there is also another way to see it, which is like a headless VR sort of an experience, a headless virtual reality sort of an experience, which is on a panoramic sort of a display when you have multiple screens attached one to each other and they are working in a very coordinated manner. So that is a Liquid Galaxy rig or a Liquid Galaxy setup. And I would say that this has also been answered in the FAQ section of our Discord community. I would just want you to take a look at it because there are many stunning visualization and photos also that I have posted, I remember last year only.
I'm in this moment in the streaming. Yash are appearing the ones that we have on the main liquidgalaxy.eu page, so people can see the many different configurations of the Liquid Galaxy, and we have many dozens more kind of configurations. Those are the more standards, I will say. And you can browse our photos. We have many, and you can see what a Liquid Galaxy rig is. But maybe one simple thing. Have you explained that? We will have a session later. It will be maybe around February that we explain for real what is technically a Liquid Galaxy rig. So for real, it's a cluster of computers that every computer handles one screen. We can have 3, 5, 7, whatever number of screens, and this is a Liquid Galaxy rig. So the Liquid Galaxy runs our Liquid Galaxy software, and then we develop applications on top of this for having different data shown over the Google Earth engine. And now I have set an LG, and I have seen the most beautiful Google Earth ever. Okay, Amit, I'm gonna say that's a good thing. Amit, thank you for offering for answering issues on the setup, because this is a community. So when we select people to do anything, not only GSoC, remember this is not a matter of GSoC only. When we select people, for us, it's as important that people is collaborating with the other ones on the technical side. So you have to be on the community. If you are not on the community, we are not interested at all. How might we propose new ideas? This is a good question also. I'm sorry if this topic we already covered in the previous session, as I could not attend those. So Bumik, this is not true. You can attend all the questions because I personally stream all of this to the internet. Let me take a picture again of what is the setup at this moment. Let me show you. Let me try to show you. What is the setup in this moment? Oh, this is my photo. There are no 5. It seems to be a Liquid Galaxy in front of me. 5 very big screens for doing this streaming. And every streaming is on the internet. And every streaming is link on your website. So you go to liquidgalaxy.eu and you can see all the streamings we have done. Not only this year, this is the fourth, but all the previous ones. We have, I would say, not dozens, but hundreds of streamings regarding to the Liquid Galaxy. Parenthesis. All of these streamings are on my own channel because I am the one that produces this, and as I am the administrator. So you can take a look for the Andre Ibanez / on YouTube. This is the channel where all the Liquid Galaxy stuff is, because it's the one I handle for this thing. So how might we propose new ideas? This is the very first question the very first thing we say to all the contributors. Just pour your ideas on the Discord. The Discord is also for putting your ideas. The first thing I always say to any contributor is pour your ideas on Discord. That means you go to Discord, you select the right channel, GSoC 2024, if it's for this or any other channel, and then you say, okay, I want to do this stuff. Why I am saying you have to go to Discord? Because remember, this is a community. This is open. We try to be as much as open as we can. Sometimes we have to be close on certain things, but internal selection and so on. But you just go to Discord, put your ideas there, write, okay, I have seen the Yash presentation about La Palma supersonic project last year, and I want to produce one similar for the Hawaii stuff. Yash is gonna smile now. So you can share your ideas with anybody. Of course, mentors we are seeing these channels, and at some point, if you put an idea that is nice, we will incorporate this idea to our proposal list. But also, and last but never least, you are contributors when the Google Summer Code starts. If you are here for Google Summer of Code, you can make a proposal about anything you want. So you have not to be proposing something that we have on our ideas page. We give this ideas page because most of the contributors have no idea of what project to do. So this is the reason because Google makes us to write a proposal page. But any of you can propose any project you want. The only thing is that if you propose a project that previously the mentors and the community have not seen or have not been able to see about what is the option, if it's going to be nice for us, it's going to be right developed, it's going to be having the right technologies, maybe you fail. Let me make you a very simple example. You have an idea of having a perfect, precious project, but just suddenly in your proposal, you didn't tell us anything. And in your proposal, you make an amazing, great proposal following Yash's presentation of today, but you put a line something like this: I'm going to use Firebase. What's going to be the problem here, Yash?
So I would say that something that is free and open source is much more welcome than something that we have to maintain each and every year, and we have to just look it up and see it all along.
So let me say another way. We like Firebase a lot because we are Google guys. We use plenty and all technologies of Google. But the problem with cloud technologies is that at some point, maybe you have to pay for. And we cannot use as an open source community this kind of technologies. I say Firebase just like a sample, but imagine you also want to install, let me say some crazy other idea. You want to go and make a project in Perl. Do you remember that crazy language, Perl? Or I can name any other. I want to use any kind of crazy database technology, and we will say no, we don't want this. So you will not have time to interact with mentors in the 15 days that Google opens the window to present your proposal. You will not have time suddenly to change your project and your idea as easy. So this is the reason, because we want you, if you want to propose a project, we want you to put this on Discord and let's have a conversation together. Next question, Yash?
I think there are no more questions. I'm just waiting. If anyone is going to ask any question, just feel free. Don't be shy to ask questions. And also, one more thing I wanted to bring that, as Sir very well said, that do not use any sort of technologies that have some sort of crazy ideas that either we have never seen or we have to pay for them. Also, if there is a version of Google technology that is available freely, feel free to use it, because let's say, for example, you have to link your Google Earth and you have to make some movements with help of Google Maps. Then do not use OpenStreetMaps. You can use Google Maps. I mean, OpenStreetMaps are nice, but you have Google Maps. So these sort of things, these sort of technologies, just write in your proposal so we can just see what technologies you are going to use, and we can give these sort of suggestions to you.
Good. Let's wait a second that some persons are writing some questions. Hello, guys. Write something, because if not, we will have to stop our streaming.
There is a question now. Jayavardhan asked,
Go.
can we propose projects that were not selected in the previous year but were there on the list projects from last year? So he just wants to showcase those projects this year which were in the list of projects but were not selected. And
And one is easy. I have just said this. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. But again, if you apply, one thing is propose. Propose mean to propose on the Discord and maybe to make a proposal. But if you make a proposal directly, just in the window that opens Google opens for the GSoC proposals, not before but on the window, it may happen again that maybe it happens that we do not longer have interest on this kind of project, and then suddenly you have made a proposal that has no interest for us. So this is the question. This is the way, because we want you to share with us before the projects your ideas, and then we will include those ideas on the main proposal page. Again, you can do whatever you want. You can propose a proposal from last year, from any technologies you want, and so on. But you have more possibilities of being discarded for that reasons we are giving to you. And Slash is asking about integrating core ML models with the application, and the argument is yes, of course, we have doing this all time. And the question is that you can downsize the application with TensorFlow Lite, as you're saying, to use it locally in your phone. In this case, not phone but tablet. Remember, we use tablets, not phones, to make the projects for the Liquid Galaxy. And then yes, you can downsize the application using TensorFlow Lite, and then it will run on the tablet, Android tablet. And you can do that. But let me well, we are ending, if Slash is saying something. Another question is that is a focus thing. What do you mean? Plenty of students usually have a growing approach with their proposals, with the proper project proposals, that they spend. Imagine you have the 3 months period, and they spend something like 2 months doing the data thing, doing your ML, your presentations, and so on, your user interface, and so on. But suddenly you leave only 1 month, the last month, to make the presentations on the Google Earth. Bad, terrible. We will insist a lot in next presentations. We did last year. We failed last year. Plenty of students failed last year. Not fail on the development of the project, but fail miserably on doing that. Again, you have to focus on the presentation on the Liquid Galaxy, on presenting data in KML or further techniques over the Google Earth thing, or maybe over Chromium, because remember, we also use Chromium. The point is that if you stay in your project 2 months doing the data thing and then only doing 1 month of the presentation, I'm 100% your presentation. When I say presentation, I mean the Google Earth presentation, the Google Earth data you're sending to the Liquid Galaxy. it has to be in the other way. You have to spend 2 months doing very good presentations and 1 month doing the data. Okay, maybe it's just you want to make some exploration on this.
Yeah. So I just want to say, focus more on showing what is graphically being shown on the Google Earth, on the Liquid Galaxy. First and foremost should not be the, I would say, the machine learning part or the heavy time. You should not be spending, I would say, a lot amount of time on the training of the data models. And so you have to firstly focus on how you will seamlessly, I would say, represent that data, how you will craft that onto the Liquid Galaxy, how your graphics gonna look like, how beautifully you can represent your data. That is also very much important, because what we are more interested, or what is more beneficial to us, is how it is looking on, or how it is being represented on the Liquid Galaxy rig, when what sort of time you have allocated into your core ML model. So focus more or give more time to representing, and you have to understand keyhole markup language or KML for this. And I would say it would be really easy, but also it needs some time.
Yeah, I sometimes I add a phrase for the contributors with the people that say with us on the many different laboratories we have or around the world where they are living. One simple thing: if you do a project for yourself, for the community that is not, I would say, paid, you can do whatever you want. But in the moment, if you're here for GSoC, in the moment that you are going to try that Google selects you for giving you an inter on the Liquid Galaxy community, on Liquid Galaxy project, you have to be 100% focused on doing the things for Google Earth, because they pay you for this, for doing things on the Liquid Galaxy rig, not on doing ML things, on doing whatever. The focus has to be the final presentation on the Liquid Galaxy. For this, of course, you need some data, you need some very nice UX developed on Flutter with a lovely Dash or whatever other technology you want to use, but not too much. Kotlin, Java, and Flutter. If we work for tablets, there are not too much there. But the point is that you have to focus on what is the point. It's making great presentations on the Liquid Galaxy. And this means doing great presentations with ML over the Liquid Galaxy. I think, guys, there are no more questions.
Yeah.
No more people are writing, so I would say thank you very much for all the people that has been attending the streaming. Thank you for the others that will see this presentation later in YouTube. Again, please stay tuned to the maybe there is another question coming. Stay tuned to the communications. I just have sent, I sent today hundreds of emails to all of you. Remember that we have this presentation. We pour this information on Discord. When it is important, we will send you an email. So please follow the rules, read the page. Always stay tuned on the different communications we make on our liquidgalaxy.eu page. Everything will be there. I know there is lots of information. This page will be increasing in dozens and dozens of pages. It's going to be long, but we're going to also build, at some moment, we will build a menu on the top of the page, because we only want to have one page regarding to GSoC. In other years, we have many different pages. It was a mess. So since 3 or 4 years ago, we only have one single post, but we will build a menu on top for you. And that's it. Thank you, Jayverdan. Thank you, Ayush. Thank you, Goyal. Let's wait a second for the other guys saying whatever, and then we will close this streaming for today. Okay, it seems that no one more is saying. Joshua. Okay, guys. They are slow tipping. Maybe they're making a great question, and we're waiting. We will wait a few seconds more for them to come.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Meet. And this is it. Okay, Yash, thank you very much for the time.
Thank you.
See you on the 20th. Is 20th December 20? And you will make the next session about
user experience in application.
The thing that you like a lot. And it will be developed on JavaScript.
It would be anything. Application, Flutter, something
Yeah.
like that.
Okay.
Java.
It was a joke, you know. Okay. For this reason, I
Yeah.
have this little bird here, the Dash mascot. Okay. Again, thank you very much, Josh, and all the ones, and see you in upcoming streaming. So stay tuned to our website and to the Discord. Bye bye.